So time now to talk through some of the newspapers this morning. Here with me to review them are Mariana Hotter and Yasmin Alibhai-Brown this morning. Good to see you both, bright and early on a Saturday morning. Good for you. Let's kick off, shall we, with a story which is dominating the front pages once again, and that is Prince Harry's memoir. Not out yet, of course, but those leaked copies are producing plenty of lines, aren't they? And Yasmin, you've picked out the Daily Mail's front page this morning, which talks about some of the fallout from his comments about his time in Afghanistan.
Yes, and this is probably the one point. See, I think he's absolutely right and has the right to write his memoirs, but I think this information about how many Taliban men he allegedly killed and felt that they were dehumanized, etc. Somebody should have warned him, I think, his editor, the publishers, that there was a great risk to him personally and to other soldiers and to the, repercussions from Taliban. And we know what Taliban are like. So I am quite shocked that this was allowed to go through. And it's the one point where I think he can be severely criticized. I'm reviewing the book, and I think some of the outrage is manufactured and fake, actually. But on this one, I think people are right to be very critical and actually quite anxious on his behalf.
Marianne, what do you make of this? Because there has been a huge amount of comment about lots of the things that he's talked about. He's been incredibly candid, hasn't he, which has surprised people. But what do you make about the backlash about these particular comments?
Well, it's a tricky one, isn't it? I can well imagine that very many months ago, Harry sat down with a ghostwriter and had a candid conversation, and most soldiers probably don't have opportunities to have that conversation. They're not perhaps pushed to give answers to those questions. The kind of the context of this, of course, is that Harry has been sort of celebrated as a champion of veterans, a champion of the serving military, and is very proud of his associations with the British military. So I think Yasmin's absolutely spot on. You do think, did no one pick this up and go, hang on, are you sure you want to put that in the kind of after that candid, intimate interview, when you're reading the proofs, you go, actually, maybe that's an ill-judged thing to say. But when it comes to the risk that this kind of pronouncement, this kind of media frenzy around this 25, notches on the rifle, I think that's a real misrepresentation, perhaps, of what he intended and perhaps what is written in the book. I haven't read it. It's not about, notching scores. It's not about kind of, some kind of Top Gun high fives when you've taken someone's life. That's not really what he's saying. And I think if we are genuinely concerned about the risk to serving personnel, to veterans, to the broader royal family, regardless of what you think about Harry specifically, the more we talk about this, the more we whip up that frenzy, and the more it will seed those ideas into the minds of extremists. So the more we talk about it, the worse we are making it.
Interesting. Okay. Maybe that's a good point to move on then. And let's go to your next choice, shall we, Yasmin? And this is the Financial Times lead story. This is, the headline is Sunak invites union leaders to talks. There's going to be a big day on Monday, isn't there? So many industries walking out or threatening to walk out. So what expectations for this meeting?
Well, I think it's long overdue. I mean, his speech of speeches that was heralded this week almost pretended that there was no crisis anywhere in the public service. There's enough money in the National Health Service, and there was a reaction to that. And it is time to talk, for all sides to talk. And the way ministers in particular of the various departments have behaved in transport, health, and so on, treating the people who are going on strike at great cost to themselves and those receiving service has been quite shocking. The indifference, the arrogance, if Sunak is serious that he wants a grown-up conversation, he has to treat, in my view, union representatives as equals, which is quite hard for a rich man who happens to be our prime minister, because there is a kind of class attitude, but he has to treat them with equal respect and get the country out of this quite terrifying mess we're in.
Okay, and I'm sure he would dispute that and would say that his door is always open, and he will talk to anybody, of course. Marianne, we actually only have about 20 seconds, but let's just tell us what the headline is on the Eye. Oh, it really is 20 seconds. We haven't got time, have we? Let's show everyone the Eye, and maybe we'll promise that we'll talk about it in the next hour. Is that the best idea?
Yes.
There it is. British national security fears after Chinese spyware found in government car in the UK. There we are. That's called a teaser, isn't it? Marianne and Yasmin, lovely to see you both. We'll be back in an hour for more. Thanks you.